Well, one of Hugo Chavez's fiercest critics is taking aim at these television ads.
I wear 2 pairs of long underwear and a jacket, and that's inside my
I'm 84 and alone. I had to drag an iron cart from the basement to the kitchen so I could sleep by the oven.
I'm Joe Kennedy. Help is on the way. Heating oil at 40% off from our friends in Venezuela at Citgo. Call me at Citizens Energy at 1-877-JOE for oil. No one should be left out in the cold.
You've seen the ads, you've heard the ads, and so is my next guest, and he's had it with the ads. Congressman Connie Mack wants Joe Kennedy to stop participating in ads touting Chavez's cheap oil and apologize for supporting a dictator. With us now is Connie Mack. Congressman, welcome.
Thank you very much, Neil.
We should point out that we did try repeatedly to get Congressman Joe Kennedy on the show here. He did respond to you, Congressman Mack. We're going to get that full response shortly. But basically, he is saying that because there have been cutbacks in energy aid to the poor in this country, led by folks like you, you're the last to complain. What do you say?
Well, that's crazy of him. And in fact, the whole ad campaign to me is crazy, that he would align himself so closely with Hugo Chavez, who is a sworn enemy of this country, who has friends in Iran and North Korea. Hugo Chavez is not a friend of this country, and Joe Kennedy seems very willing to stand next to him and support him. Okay, so you've seen the ads, you don't like the ads. What have you asked him to do? Stop the ads or what? Yeah, I'd like to see the ads come down and for him to apologize. You can't, and I don't know how in good conscience you can, as an American, stand up and support someone like Hugo Chavez. I think he owes the country an apology, and he should take down those ads. Plus, it looks like self-promotion on his part. All right, now, in his letter to you, Congressman, he says, since you expressed concerns with a nonprofit energy company doing business with a Venezuelan-owned oil company to help the poor, I'm sure you've sent letters to ExxonMobil, BP, Shell, and ConocoPhillips and others objecting to the billions of dollars in oil profits they've made in Venezuela. Well, I just got a copy of the letter. I haven't had a chance to read the whole thing. But my objection is to Joe Kennedy. Of all people, he should know how important it is that we have a stable Western Hemisphere. And I believe that Hugo Chavez is trying to be what Fidel Castro was to Russia, is trying to be that for Iran. We cannot continue, we cannot support him. My complaint is with Joe Kennedy and his clear support of Hugo Chavez. All right, so you're saying that even though we might have the best intentions at heart to help poor people, you're saying that it's sending the wrong message. We're supporting a dictator who ultimately wishes a lot of our people ill. Is that the gist of it? Yeah, you know, Neil, Hugo Chavez is using Joe Kennedy in a charade to try to deflect attention maybe from the fact that his own country's economically and politically is falling apart. And instead he's trying to win friends and pull the wool over the eyes of the American people about Hugo Chavez in Venezuela, and we can't stand for that. All right, but if there is no leadership change in Venezuela, and Venezuela continues to be a leading source of oil for this country, what do? We just reject Venezuelan oil altogether? It has circuitous routes to make its way to influence the oil markets, as you know. Well, I don't think we can just turn it away, but certainly this is why we need to wean ourselves off of oil, not domestic and foreign sources of oil. We need to have an approach that brings, whether it's conservation, nuclear, clean coal. I mean, we've all heard about the different technologies and fuels that are out there. We need to do what we can, invest where we need to try to bring it to market so we can reduce our dependency on foreign oil. But the real question here is, why is Joe Kennedy so closely aligning himself with Hugo Chavez, who wants to disrupt the balance of power? He calls himself a dictator. He calls one of his best friends Fidel Castro. This is not somebody you want to stand next to. But Joe Kennedy is saying it's someone's oil we need. You say that most Americans would pay higher gas, heating oil, energy prices to make that statement? Well, that's not what I'm saying. But what I am saying is there's no need for Joe Kennedy. He, of all people, should understand the concerns that we have in Latin America, and he should not be supporting Hugo Chavez.
Congressman, thank you very, very much. Of course, to Joe Kennedy, the invitation to appear on this program is always out there. We look forward to hearing from you. Meanwhile, fill her up with the